Alright, Shalom. First, I'd like to start by saying all praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and apostles that were well. And salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Now, this is an article on what's going on in Chicago in the South Shore neighborhood. And if I'm not mistaken, this might be like one of my old neighborhoods I used to be in as far as I used to go to school. And I had to do a little more searching to figure out the area and stuff. But it says murderers, violent protests erupt after Chicago police shoot armed man. Right. So, for the record, or to start off with, Jake, I'm getting tired of being gunned down by these police officers. Police officers, whether they're white or whether they're black, because a lot of them be because of BS, and a lot of them be because Jake and them just fucking wicked, and don't know the law, always up to no good and shit. And, some of them, so a lot of it's justified, and a lot of it's because, well, ultimately because they're not of the elect. Let's just start there, man. But we know that that it's the Lord killing off 2/3 because He bringing in this kingdom, and we know that the Lord is doing this, man. The Lord created spirits for vengeance, which are the angels that kill these people, man. So, but I'm going to start with this scripture. This is Psalms chapter 68, verse 20. It says, "He that is our power is the power of salvation, and unto the Most High, the Lord, belongeth the issues from death." Right? So the Lord sanctions death, man. But it starts. It says violent protests broke out in Chicago, prompting several arrests after a police officer fatally shot an armed man on Saturday evening following a brief confrontation. Protesters and police faced each other in a heated standoff at the cordoned-off scene in the predominantly black South Shore neighborhood after a man was shot by an officer. It says angry locals chanted "murderers" at police, and some people threw glasses and rocks, injuring several officers, while protesters were tackled and hit with batons. Chicago Police Patrol Chief Fred Waller admitted the situation got a little out of hand as 4 people were arrested. It says a very large crowd is gathering at 71st Chapel, where Chicago police say they shot and killed a person this evening. It's hard to put in words how tense the scene is. Witnesses say a female officer shot the man in the back while he was running away. He was a local barber. It says the unidentified man was shot dead after being pursued on foot by officers who wanted to question him. Police said the man had a bulge around his waistband and was exhibiting characteristics of an armed person when a confrontation developed and he was shot. Officers later discovered that the man was carrying a semi-automatic weapon for which they say he did not have a concealed carry permit. He was also in possession of several magazines of ammunition, said Waller. Alright, this from Nader Issa. It said witnesses say the female officer who fired the shots were immediately put in a squad car and taken away from the scene. By my count, there are between 80 to 100 officers at the scene right now. Look, 80 to 100 officers. Probably as many or more protesters. Look, it's turning into a war zone, man. These people getting tired. The Lord got these people rising up, man. Rising up against this government and the way this order and everything is set up in America, because they know it's wicked, man. Now, you got 100 protesters out there. The guy probably did have a gun. We know how Chicago is. But, what if he didn't, though, man? But all in all, it's still the Lord. But this is just the beginning of what's to come, man. It's gonna get way worse than this, man. And this is fueling the racial tensions, because we know most of the officers are Edomites. And then you got the one lonely Jake right there. It might be more out there, but most of these police officers are Edomite devils, man. So I'm going to start with Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. It says, 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe meaning destruction to this world. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. That's talking about the nuclear missiles. And one people shall stand up to fight against another. That's race wars, man. And swords in their hands. Right, Jacob getting tired of these devils killing Jake. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. Right, these people gonna uprise against this government, man, and invade one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Right, so they're not gonna be worried about no presidents or no senators and no governmental officials. They showing that stuff over there in the Middle East. They doing that right now, killing governmental officials and stuff, man. It says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So whatever they want to do in that day, they're going to be able to do, man. This is, the Lord just kicking everything off, man. Keeping everything going, keeping that fire going, keeping it hot and making it hotter, man. We almost at that time. This is Isaiah chapter 19. Verse 1, it says, the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Right, this is the point I'm trying to make. And they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Right, so city against city is the race wars, and kingdom against kingdom is simultaneously while these race wars going on, you're gonna have these wars going on between like America, Russia, Iran, and America, Israel, and Iran, and the rest of the nations are going to be involved also. So this is all biblical prophecy, man. Let me see. Okay, it says look, there's all types of stuff going on in Chicago. It says anti-gun violence. Protesters shut down Chicago highway. Governor gets blasted and for calling it chaos. Alright, so it's all type of stuff going on in the news, man. Just gotta pick articles out and make videos on them, man. You spread the party. How about you not shine? It said, during the confrontation with police, the man became combative and broke free from the officer. They thought he appeared to be reaching for a weapon, which he did have a weapon on him, and the officers tragically shot him, Chief Wallace said. Yeah, I read another one before this. It didn't say nothing about them thinking he had a weapon. They just said he tried to break free, or he broke free and ran. Okay, it says from that, it says the situation just severely escalated when Chicago police officers moved their line forward. Officers hit multiple protesters with batons, and protesters punched officers back. I haven't seen a police shooting scene this tense since Laquan McDonald. It says here's more of the scuffle between Chicago police officers and protesters at the scene, where an officer shot and killed a man. And I'm not gonna play that because this phone be taking all days. So brothers can look this up. It says the man, who was in his 30s, died after being shot in the back at least 5 times by a female officer, according to a Chicago Sun-Times report. The officer was reportedly taken away from the scene in a police vehicle after a crowd of 100 people immediately gathered. Videos and photos posted on social media showed a heavy police presence in the area following the incident. Protesters could be seen angrily confronting officers as scuffles broke out. So yeah, it looks like it's going down. Internet, okay, it says internet is bad just from Nader Issa. Internet is bad, so it's taking a minute for this video to upload. But Chicago police, I just said the same shit. Police just rushed the parking lot and started hitting people. I have my press badge on, and and identified myself as a reporter, but I got shoved to the ground by 2 cops who smacked my phone out of my hand. Get your ass out of here, boy. We at war. It's war. It's war out there in them streets, man. It's war out there in them streets, man. And the Lord just gonna turn everything up, man. Y'all right this out. We have to elect to be protected from this, but we gonna be getting tried with this, man. Here's the start of at least of the latest escalation where Chicago police rushed the protesters who had been throwing bottles. More video to come. Okay, it says Chicago Civilian Office of Police Accountability said the shooting was captured by body cameras and the circumstances surrounding the shooting are under investigation. Right, so they should be able to bring that video out if everything is what they say it is. But it says the officers involved will be placed on administrative leave for 30 days. I thought it was one officer. It says officers now. It says Chicago has been blighted by gun crime in recent times. More than 1,430 people have been shot in the city so far this year. Wow, so far this year, and it's only been 7 months. It says, however, the statistic actually represents an improvement as it's 496 fewer than this time last year, according to the Chicago Tribune. And we know that's a lie because the Lord took the jobs. He released the spirits out there, got everybody killing each other and all that stuff. That's the reason why they call it Chirac now. But, you know, even if it ain't that many murders, in which the Times said we living in the worstest times ever, you know, there soon will be. It says the Washington Post tallies some 548 people have been shot and killed by police in the U.S. so far this year, around 20 more than this time last year. So yeah, man, it's going down in Chirac, so to speak. It's gonna be a real Chirac real soon, man. But this is Isaiah chapter 13. Verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Right, so that's talking about the race wars, man. So let me start at 14. It says, and it shall be as a chaste roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, right, talking about the race riots, and everybody gonna go back to their own people. And flee everyone into his own land. That's one of the reasons why a lot of these stores shutting down, because a lot of these guys who own these businesses are leaving this country, going back to their own lands, man. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Right, so if any one of them niggas, them Negro police officers, Latino police officers, Native American police officers, you know, and so on and so forth, as the rest of the tribes is going to be found with these devils, helping these devils, they're going to be put to death. And this is during the time of the race riots, man. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces, right? They're going to dash their kids to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, right? You have people running in your houses. And their wives ravished, right? So y'all women, the ones that y'all uplift and care about and bow to and all that shit, they're going to be raped in that day, man. So, you know, according to the Bible. I just read it, man. But, you know, that's it for the lesson. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles that we will. And salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.